Check, rolling, rolling. All right, Gustavo, Adolfo, Uribe here, and this is Code Money. This is just a playlist about my personal experience in my journey to become a web developer. And if you've been watching my channel, I documented my experience going to code before going to code bootcamp, and then going to code bootcamp during the whole thing, and then afterwards. So it's been like maybe I don't know, like a little bit over a year, maybe a year and a half journey so far. I went to a coding boot camp in Salt Lake City called B School. I went there because um, they had housing included, and my original plan was to go to a coding boot camp and then move to LA so I can keep going with my music career and my creative projects. So and I could have a day job as a web developer to get that code money. So to make the long story short, is I actually I did the Hack Reactor coding like pre-course, and then that I didn't really like that, so that's when I found the V School and the free housing, blah blah blah, blah. And it was just a like better financial option, so that's why I chose that. So after the coding boot camp, I moved to LA. I got a room with my friends in Glendale, and then the lease was up, and then I moved to Boyle Heights, close to downtown LA, and I've been here like about 2-3 months now. And I'm currently a web developer at a e-commerce store, and they use WooCommerce, and they might switch to Shopify, um, hopefully soon. I don't really like WooCommerce that much anymore, but anyway, since I've been there, I like redesigned their website with a new theme. And I fixed it up real nice. And the pay is like it's not six figures. It's under like 50K. Um, and I'm not making as much money as I would like, but I'm making a little bit more money than I was when I started before I did the web development. So the only thing now is that um, I do have to pay. I have to pay back the loan that I took to go to the coding boot camp school, and I'm currently not able to make the payments. So, yeah. So it's just a little tough financially right now, but I'm slowly getting there. So for those who are thinking about this web development career, I'm just gonna read over my notes here. Drink my mate from my goofy mug, and this is my style, guys. I kind of go slow. I kind of rant a little bit because I like to go over things in details. So if you're looking for like a quick fix video, this isn't the video. So sorry guys, but this is gonna take some time to go through my whole like 1 year after boot camp and my reflections about doing it. So as you know, like if you watch my videos, I didn't know anything about. I knew web design a little bit, but I didn't know anything that much about web development. I didn't know JavaScript. I didn't know PHP. Um, I didn't know like DevOps stuff. Like I didn't really know anything. I didn't know how to open the Chrome browser, the uh, the browser inspector tool. I didn't know that. So as you when you start this web development, I think a lot of boot camps or schools start you off with JavaScript algorithms, and you work your way up. But I don't think that's the best way to do it. That's why I went to V School, because I just. But then you go there and then they do warm ups with the freaking algorithm. So honestly, man, algorithms, to be honest with you guys, is a waste of time, in my opinion, when you're first starting out. Uh, Looking back at it, if you really want to go into web development, you gotta be in it for the long haul. So you gotta be willing to work every day at this career, um, and you gotta be willing to do work every day at this web development stuff for at least 5 years. That's how I see it. And I'll get into other points as I go on through this video of things that I've experienced in this career field. Um, the number one thing I would say to learn is HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. That's like just like the coding phase on YouTube, how he explains it. You got to start off in steps, and then you get your portfolio, and get a portfolio that has a real estate site, an e-commerce store, a restaurant, your portfolio, and then a agency looking site. So you have 5 like real world professional looking websites on your portfolio. So that's what I did, and I got this job, and I'm cool with it. Yeah. So I have gone on other interviews, a lot of other interviews, other agencies and bigger mid agencies, and some places in like Santa Monica ish area, some pretty nice spots. But I didn't get the job. Interviewed some other places, and they wanted someone to manage an overseas team, actually, which I don't really want to do that, bro. But I'll get into that as I go into the video. So, I guess you're wondering, like, should you, if you're thinking about web development, should you pursue it? Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty nuts and bolts. You have to really like this. You have to really like doing this. And you have to be, like I said, willing to be in it for the long haul and give it every day. You're coding the code monkey for 5 years. If you can do that for 5 years, you'll make a lot of money doing this, and you'll be happy, and you'll be doing what you love to do. If you're in it for the money, like I was, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out. If you suck at it and you're in it for the money, don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time, because if you're doing it for the money, there's always gonna be someone that's more passionate than you, that's gonna work harder than you, and is gonna just outlast you, pretty much. And this like when I was in Glendale, and I was working really hard every day. My weekends, my nights, every day, doing tutorials and stuff like that to get better and working on my portfolio. And I redid my portfolio like 3 or 4 or 5 times. And I did get interviews, and I did get. Technically I'm a web developer. So here's the deal, guys. The big money web developing, you gotta, from my experience doing this, you gotta be get into some framework like React, right? That's where the money is at. Or you have some type of specialized experience, like you're really, really good at PHP, or you're really, really good at Python or whatever. You're like a specialist. So you either way, whatever you choose to do, you have to really like it and pick something that you really, really, really want to focus on. And a lot of YouTube code people, they tell you the same thing. Don't try to learn everything. You're not. You do have to learn HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript just to get your foundation. But even because you'd be surprised that how many people really, really suck at HTML, CSS, and just vanilla JavaScript. I suck at vanilla JavaScript, but I know web design, and I can make something look nice. You know what I'm saying? Um, that being said, when you're actually looking for jobs, they don't want someone who is decent in HTML, CSS, vanilla JavaScript. They want something who's really, really, really good at it and can write professional code. That means it's got to look tidy. It's got like a BEM CSS style. You got to be able to do the basics, the modal, the slider, um, forms, doing forms, just basic building blocks of websites by scratch. If you can do those by scratch, you're good. That's what it would be considered a foundation. So when you go to these code camps, they don't teach you that shit. They teach you a free, like some type of framework, and then full stack web developer in 3 months. So now we're gonna get to what I really think about these code camps. Um, I have friends that have gone to Hack Reactor. I have friends that have graduated from B school, and they have been successful web developers. But that being said, they're in it for the long haul, and they're sticking to one kind of thing. And I know a lot of people that quit, too. Uh, so yeah, so you go to these code camps, and they're basically, you gotta, full stack with the framework, and you're kind of doing you a disservice when you're learning that, because you have to learn the fundamentals, the HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. If you don't have that down, it's just like a house of cards, and like you're just gonna be scratching your head like, how come I can't get a job? It's like because you don't have the fundamentals. It's like, and the funny thing is, like, depending on the job that you have, um, you may or you may not really code that much stuff from scratch, depending on what it is. Like if it's a WordPress site that you're building, or you're modifying some type of e-commerce theme or something like that, you may not be actually coding that much. Um, but you still got to be able to fix things, like make it, edit it, and make it look cool. And unless you get a job where it's like, more like coding, with like what you think of coding, like I don't know, building some app or something like that, then it's like, okay, yeah, you're like actually doing the algorithm stuff, and you're actually doing the coding stuff. But it's weird because there's different routes to go in this web development, and it's like the wild wild west. And a lot of times it's like you're there's just some library or some framework that can already do what you would think that you would be doing from scratch. So you technically don't have to build it from scratch. That being said, you have to know how to build it from scratch because things are breaking all the time. Um, Another thing that I've noticed is that there's no standardization of coding that I'm aware of. There's conventions and stuff, but like everywhere you go, they're gonna have a different technology. They're gonna have a different way of doing it, and different aesthetic. And everybody is a know-it-all in this industry, from my experience. Everybody's a know-it-all, especially like people that are maybe they're not as experienced or good as they think they are. Um, they're really they'll really have an opinion for everything. This brings me to another point, is that the people that I've experienced with, um, there's a lot of weirdos in this industry. There's a lot of code monkeys in this industry that you may or you may not get along with, and it's just a lot of people are like autistic weirdos. I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. there's a lot of people that I've met, like, I wouldn't hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? After work, like, no, this person's weird. So that's one thing that you have to be aware of. If you're a weirdo and you're a coder, then you're gonna fit right in. But if you're kind of a bro, like I would consider myself a bro. Um, I mean, I'm a hard worker, but I mean, I like to watch maybe a basketball game or go work out and step outside once in a while. Um, yes, the yeah, man, you're gonna deal with a lot of weirdos. And the other thing that I've noticed is like a lot of these companies, man, they really have high expectations. Really, really high expectations of what they're looking for. And they're not willing to train people. They want people to come in that already know what they're doing, um, with like 2 to 3 at least years of experience and stuff like that. But I mean, the successful people that I've met have gotten a job where like they're really good for not for being beginners, but get a job that gives them a chance and that they'll mentor them. If you can get a job where they'll mentor you and give you a chance, give you a shot, then those are the successful coders that I've seen, that I've met, and that are successful on YouTube that I've noticed. Um, you got to be like good enough to just for someone to think that you have a lot of potential. Otherwise, you're not even gonna matter. Um, so just think about like, of all the people that you know that want to code, there's guys that don't sleep. They don't sleep. They just code, and you're competing against those people. Trust me. So I don't know, man. I don't know. If you really want to be a coder, I wish you the very best. And I'm not trying to dissuade you, but I think that um, going into it, I mean, I didn't know what to. I thought I was gonna get 6 figures like that. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't really happen. I think what I've noticed a trend too is companies are outsourcing coders. They're outsourcing them to like, you know, Thailand, India, whatever, and then what they'll do is they'll hire an American guy to like just manage that overseas team. So they'll, you could talk to the office guy in America, and then he'll like deal with the coders, which is like, I mean, I've never done like, I haven't actually gotten that type of job, but I wouldn't want that type of job because it's like, just imagine that it's like you're gonna be by yourself all day, and you're gonna have to manage these people that may or may not speak good English, and you're gonna have to be like accountable for, if something happens, like goes wrong or whatever. It's just like kind of not really need to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's like any office person can just be like, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix that? Can you fix this? But I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know. Just other people, you could put in your comments what your experience is dealing with overseas teams. I mean, unless you have like a team that is built from the ground up, that's like off the then that's cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just have really from dealing with overseas people, like I haven't had a good experience with that. They're gonna fuck it up somehow, bro. And at least with an American, it's like, all right, well, you can at least communicate like what you want and what you don't want and blah blah blah. But it just feels like, I don't know, man. With the overseas, it's like they're cheap for a reason, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to say it, but you're gonna get what you pay for, man. I mean, and I don't know. So I don't know. I think that this industry, man. I've come to this is my final thoughts. Gustavo's final thoughts on this. me personally, how much time okay, I'm going like 20 minutes. All right. Personally, me, where I'm at right now, 1 year in this, I don't want to be a web developer anymore. I'm done. I'm good. I'm gonna keep doing it as my day job, and potentially maybe get a higher paying job. I'm burned out as of now, like coding. I'm burned out trying to get a job with coding. Like you have to go over there to the spot. You got to do a test. You may or may not get feedback, and like you're competing with all these other people, and then you meet the people that you may be working with, and they're a bunch of weirdos, they're just gonna stick you in the freaking corner and give you free soda. I'm like, oh man, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't think that I want to do this as a career. Well, I never really wanted to. This is just trying to get a good paying day job for me. But I have other projects that I'm pursuing. I'm doing my YouTube. I'm doing my music. I got a YouTube channel with taco reviews in LA. So I'll put the link in there if you're in the LA area and you want to know where the taco spots are. You could check that out. It's called Ya Tu Sabes Taco Reviews. So I've been doing that, and I'm pretty pumped on it. I'm starting to learn animation, believe it or not. I'm starting to get into like drawing and animation. And yeah, and it feels like way better just being able to actually do something that I want to do. With the coding, it was just like, this type of industry, like it moves really quickly. Things are always breaking. And I feel, me personally, that it's not very fulfilling. You would think that it's fulfilling, like, oh yeah, I get to learn something new, like I get to keep challenging myself, I get to keep challenging. But ironically, I find that it's like you never reach a level of proficiency. You know, with other stuff, it's like, okay, I'm getting better, There's a roadmap, what to do, how to improve it. But with this one, it's just like, soon as a new technology gets hot, and all the cool kids want to do that. And then I've noticed that in this industry, man, like they really have to make things more complicated than they need to be. They want to automate everything, and sometimes it's just like, can we just keep it old school? Can we just use something that works? I mean, I heard Ruby on Rails was cool to work with. I would probably jump into that, to be honest with you. The JavaScript framework world is like, I've never liked working with it. The Node.js, Node.bs, I never liked working with it. Now there's people that might like it, but God, man, like you have to download like a gigabyte of shit on your computer, and then like one little line of code breaks it all. I mean, come on, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. And then you find out that there's already a library that does whatever the hell that you want it to do, and it's only like $20 to buy it or subscribe to it. So it's like, so I've been, even at my work, they're like, can't you build that? Can't you build a plugin for that? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, for what, bro? We can just, Shopify's like $80 a month. Like it's like I'll make sure that I put it together. Like, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Like, why make it complicated? Anyways, that's my thoughts. I know there's lots of rant in this, but that's basically what it is. This is a Code Money rant, reflections, 1 year, a little bit over 1 year in as a web developer. And there's other web developers. Like I said, bro, like if you wanna get that Code Money, go for it, man. But I don't know, man. This is it's an interesting field. It's an interesting field. yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck. Feel free to comment on my videos, ask me any questions that you might have. Um, and yeah, I keep it real. So I'm not gonna try to sell you. You know what I'm saying? The dream, bro. Like I'm, like this is real deal Holyfield. Oh yeah, guys, just work really hard and just knock on a lot of fucking doors, blah blah. It's like, yeah, it works, but like, yeah, it's like you're gonna bang a lot of doors, buddy. All right. Thanks for watching. All right, cool.